Hello and welcome to my Sinatra project. I am at the home page, so I'm going to go ahead and take you in and show you all the different things a user can do with my application. So I created an app that's for people who are job hunting, and it's a way to organize careers that you're interested in and also track whether you've applied or not. So this is kind of the main page, and it's called Get a Job. So it has a description, ready to get a job, path to greatness starts below. And then it's kind of explained here what it is and how people can use it just in kind of an overview fashion. And I tried to keep the language very like upbeat and motivating because I thought that that would suit the application well. So then from here, the options are either log in or sign up. We're going to go ahead and log in first and just kind of show you the different things you can do in the app. So this is a user I created. So we'll go in and play around with her stuff, just as kind of an example. So we're going to type in the username and password, which is encrypted, and log in. Once logged in, it brings the user, which in this case is Sophie, to her kind of main page, which is her company list. So here are the companies she's interested in, like CodeMonkey, Zapier, Flatiron, and then here's whether it tracks whether she's applied or not. So let's say that we wanted to view one of these, just click on the company and it pulls up the company page, and that has the name of the company, it has the description, whether the person has applied, then here you can edit it or delete it. So let's say that Sophie went ahead and applied to CodeMonkey and we want to change that. We can click edit. In this case, she doesn't want to change the name or the description, but you could right there. So here she's going to change this to Crushed It because she applied. Update company, and then she can go back. It brings you back to what you just updated so that you can see it, make sure it's all good, and then back to company list. We can see that that's updated. CodeMonkey applied, yes. So the same options are available to any company on the company list. You can edit any of them, or if we wanted to add a new one, we can go right down here to add new company. And let's say we wanted to add, I don't know, IBM tech company. And let's say we have not applied yet. We're going to create the company. And it'll show us what we created to make sure it's what we wanted. And then if we go back to the company list, there it is right on the list. Not yet. So this is where the individual users' company interests populate, and they can kind of easily be tracked or edited or deleted from there. And let's say we did want to delete one. Let's say we want to delete this IBM. Just click delete. And there it is. It's gone. And I believe, let's try this. Flatiron's 21. So IBM was 22 and we deleted it. So let's make sure we can't still get to it. Oh no, we can't. It's not there anymore. And it just reroutes the person back to their company interest page. So that's how this works. And so we know right here, this one is actually 9. I believe this is 15 and this is 19. But I can say for sure there isn't a 1. So let's make sure we can't go anywhere we don't belong. Nope, can't get there. And I know that there's a company at 11 that belongs to a Corinna user. So just making sure that we can't get to someone else's companies and edit or delete. It also protects against that and just redirects the user to the only their companies. So those are the only ones they can apply the CRUD actions to. And let's say we were trying to be really sneaky and bypass it and just go 11 edit. No dice, right back to your page. So users can add new companies, they can edit them, they can delete them, they can see individual companies or their index page, but they can only do that with the companies that they've added to their users, so only to their own companies that they're interested in. Let's go log out and sign up a new friend. Let's do Tommy. And, oh wait, we're at login. Well here, this will actually be good. Let's try it and see what it does. Login. Tommy's not a user. What's it going to do? Reroute us to sign up. Perfect. So I tried to kind of think about every little thing a user might do that might need to be rerouted and kind of help guide them in that direction. So in that instance, we were trying to log in with a user who didn't exist. So what it did is redirect to sign up because it realized that user didn't exist yet. Let's go to Tommy. Now we're going to sign him up. And I also put these here at the bottom of each. Sign up has login and login has sign up, just to kind of make it a really user-friendly interface for anyone who might be interacting with it and might want to get from one place to another. So let's sign up Tommy. And here's his page, but he doesn't have any yet. So let's go ahead and add a new company. And we'll add Zapier. Okay, and we'll say not yet. So he can create one here, and it gets populated here. So Zapier, remote tech company, productivity focus, not yet. Here's kind of the landing page for this. And if we go back to his company list, it's right here. And just to show you one more time, we knew that when we were in Sophie, that 9 was her code monkey. So just in case you didn't believe me that 11 was one, let's see if Tommy can get to 9. Code monkey. Nope, he can't. And Sophie has a Zapier, but he has his own because the company interests belong to the user and they're creating them with their own information about the company. So that's how this works. And if we log out again, I want to show you that I have some things in place to prevent people from being able to access things that they're maybe not logged in for or shouldn't be accessing. So here, let's say that a user is not logged in, but they're trying to be sneaky and just get right to somebody's company interests. If they were to do this, oh no, that didn't work. So it realizes they're not logged in and tells them, hey, I think you're trying to access something you're not logged in for, and then offers them the links to log in. And if there's anything with company interest that you try and do that for, even just to like bypass, let's try to edit company 1. It does the same thing. So it catches whenever somebody's not logged in and reminds them they need to log in. And then let's say we go to login and we try and log in with Sophie's name, because we know she's a user, but let's say we forget her password. It's not going to let us. It's going to see there's no match and be like, hey, this person doesn't exist because there's no password, and then send them to sign up. And let's say we try and sign up. Let's say we try and sign up with no password. We'll just do random name, no password. It also makes sure that a username and password has to be input for login and sign up to make sure that an actual person is logging in with the correct information or an actual person is signing up with the necessary information. And then if we go back to the main users page, this is just kind of the general landing page, and this page is specific to users who aren't like already a part of Get a Job. So the only way you'd access this page is if you're not logged in. Actually, I do want to show you this. So let's log in, because I showed you what people can't see if they're not logged in, but I do want to show you this too. So we're going to log our user Sophie back in. And so one thing, when they're logged in, they also have these links down at the bottom so they can easily access their company list at any point or log out at any point. And that's only shown when you're logged in. So let's say that Sophie tried to go, I don't know why she would do this, but let's say Sophie tried to log in even though she's already logged in. It interprets that she's logged in and brings her right back to her company interest page. So same sort of thing, it just helps guide people towards where they're trying to go. And let's say now she's on Code Monkey. I just want to kind of show you the redirect. And let's say she tried to go to users, sign up. It says, nope, you're already signed up and logged in. Here's your page. Find something that you actually want. So that's kind of one of the things I try to be really cognizant of. And then let's log out one more time, and I'll just show you how these links at the bottom, now they're gone because we're not logged in. So if we tried to access anything that we need to be logged in for, we wouldn't be able to. And we also know because we don't have this here. So this, we don't have those links that you would have if you're logged in. So the only thing we could do now is either log in or sign up. So that's my app. I'm really excited about it. I wanted to create an app that I felt like would be really useful and also like encouraging. I love that spirit in Flatiron, so I wanted to kind of harness that in my app. I'm going to show you a little bit of the code without getting too heavy into it. So here's my app folder with my controllers, models, and views. The first controller is the application controller, and that's kind of like the focal point controller that the other controllers inherit from. Application controller inherits from Sinatra base. So this configures everything. It enables the sessions. And it has some of the main routing here, like to the main page and the failure page. Predominantly, what it's doing here is providing the helpers. So we have the logged in and current user helper, but then I also have a redirect not logged in helper. And that's the one that catches you if you're trying to access something you're not logged in for and redirects you to the failure. And then our company interest controller inherits from application controller. And this one is all things company interest. So it provides the 7 RESTful routes for the CRUD actions for anything that has to do with an individual company interest. So showing the index page, creating a new one, editing it, all of that. That's what's defined here. And that's also why you'll see the redirect if not logged in method called at the beginning of these, because it's checking before anything is done to any of them to make sure the person's logged in. And then also in a lot of instances, it also checks to make sure that the correct person is logged in. So if company user equals current user, do this. So it checks for that too, which just makes sure that nobody can do stuff to content that's not theirs. So all that's defined here. And then one thing I do in a lot of these and in the user's controller is find something based on the ID of whatever's logged in or plugged in, and then assign that to an instance variable, and that makes that instance information available to then pull from, format from, find stuff from, and a lot of that gets utilized in views as well. So that's what's happening here. This is where we're editing a particular company interest, and this is reassigning the new information and then saving it so that it replaces the old information. This is where we delete. So that's company interests. And then the user's controller also inherits from application controller. And what this one, it's similar to this in how it has checks, but instead of redirect, it's checking if logged in to make sure the user's logged in before doing some of these things. And this one, similar to the company interest, but it's focused on the users and the different things they would be doing, like logging in, signing up, that sort of thing. So they correlate with what's happening in the views. So like users log in new. So here we have users, which that part of that is catching if you're logged in or not, or redirecting you where you probably want to go. Sign up would be for new, and then login would be for logging in or logging out. That's what all that defines. And then if we go to our models, I have 2 models. The company interest model, which inherits from active record base so that it can communicate with the SQLite database. Here we have the belongs to relationship defined. Company interests belong to a user, and then we have the reverse for that. A user has many company interests. And then we also have the validates macros to just ensure that anyone puts in the name and the description for the company interest. A company interest has to have the name and description to exist. And then if we go to user, it has the has secure password macro to make sure that passwords are salted and hashed before they're saved to the database. And it also has the validates here for username. This one also has uniqueness to make sure that 2 people can't have the same username. So that's how it differentiates users. And then in the views, so the views for the company interests, we have edit, index, new, and show. So these are for the CRUD actions. So this is for editing a company. And this is what I was saying about the instance variable. It pulls the company that the user plugged in and then edits based on that. And then for the index, it's going to pull the user and any companies that are belonging to the user. That's how it pulls those. For new, this is where you would add a new one. And then here's where you would show. So same sort of thing, it pulls the information based on the instance. And then for users, this is for the user logging in. And this is where we have some of the links are populated based on each one, like new has login and login has new, that sort of thing. So those links are defined throughout to try and make it a really seamless interface. So that's for a new user. And then we have the failure, which is kind of the catch-all error page. So that's defined here. Layout's the overall layout, which will yield to each of the other views so that the design stays similar, with just little updates in the pictures and things like that. And then here's the opening page with all the formatting and descriptions and those links at the bottom. So that's the views. And that's pretty much my app. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope that you enjoyed it.